Today we'll be taking a behind the scenes look at my Kaneohe skate park video part. I've been making skate videos already for a long time up until this point, but this is the first one of my videos to actually kind of blow up. This video features some of the most difficult tricks I'd ever done up until this point, and honestly, most of the tricks in this video were the first time I'd ever done that trick. So I thought it'd be pretty fun if we just sat down here together, watched the video, and I could give you kind of a more in-depth point of view behind the video. Because there's actually a lot of interesting things behind this video that you probably didn't know. So before we watch it, I'll give you a little bit of backstory. This entire video was filmed at Kaneohe skate park. This is the skate park that I grew up skating. To this day, it's my favorite skate park in the entire world. I just love the layout of it, and the obstacles are kind of weird and unique. Some of them are really difficult to skate, but that's why it's kind of fun to figure out. Not because they're crazy or gnarly or anything like that. They're just kind of weirdly shaped. So one last fun fact about this part before we watch it is that when I filmed this part, I was actually in a very dark place in my life. I had just gotten out of an extremely unhealthy relationship, and while we were filming this video, it was actually the most depressed that I'd ever been in my entire life. So during this dark time, I honestly felt like I had nothing else in my life besides skating. And I know that's not true. Obviously, looking back, that was definitely not true. But just because of the way that I felt and the mental space that I was in, I really did feel like all I had was skating. So every day, all I would do was just put all of how I felt into skating and just really hyper focused on learning new tricks and just, I don't know, just going to the park and trying to escape with skating. And so I know in a lot of these clips, it looks like I'm smiling and happy, which don't get me wrong, it was extremely fun filming this video part. And I did have a lot of great times filming it, but outside of filming this, I was in a really, really bad place, which I actually think is kind of cool that I was able to film this during that dark time. And it ended up being the first one of my videos that actually kind of blew up. So I think it's maybe because of that. Maybe I have that rough time to thank for me being able to progress in the way that I did. Who knows? Either way, let's get started and let's watch this video together. By the way, I need to mention, shout out Jordan Kim. This video was filmed and edited by Jordan Kim, really close friend of mine. I've been friends with him for a very long time, and we still skate together. We still go out filming. We're actually working on a new video part right now, and it's almost done. So hopefully you'll see that new project very soon. But until then, let's watch this. There we go, the little 808 skate sticker, the 808 skateboard, the Chihu board. Got my long hair. Nana calls that my Bruce Lee stage, my Bruce Park stage. Let's see here. 540 shove it to blunt. Now, that's a trick that I do a lot, but at the time, I think that was the first one I'd ever done. Also, forgot to mention, we're gonna of course watch this without music because of copyright issues, but we did use a Naked and Famous song, Youngblood, and this edit was actually not the first edit of this video that was released. So originally, Jordan put this video out on Christmas, and he was like, oh, I got like this edit, we'll put it out on Christmas. And I'd been giving him songs that I really wanted to use, and he was like, yeah, I'll figure it out. And when he put this out on Christmas, I remember waking up, watching it, and then just calling him and being like, take it down right now. Because what he had done is he had used a Lady Gaga Christmas song, and it was really weird. I'd never heard it before, but it was some weird, inappropriate Lady Gaga song that had a bunch of like sexual innuendos and weird Christmas puns.
We will take off our clothes. We will take off our clothes. Take off my stockings.
And it was just not good. It was just disturbing. And I get it, Jordan probably thought it was funny or something, but I was calling him like, hey, take it down. We spent all this time on this project. Like, this is not how I want it to be. It was actually a 2-song edit. The first was the Lady Gaga, and the second song was a Purity Ring song that I actually did want him to use, but it was just kind of a weird combination. So he took it down, and I think after that, we ended up waiting a week or two, and I think we filmed maybe another trick or two, and then we put it out later with the Naked and Famous song. And even this song, I actually originally wanted him to use a different Naked and Famous song, but he went with this one. He's like, oh, trust me. And yeah, the edit worked out well. I know it's kind of like a corny song, but at that time, we were both into that kind of music, so that's what we did and used. This entire project only really took around 1 week to film. We'd meet up in the morning, we just filmed there all day, get a bunch of clips every single day. So yeah, I think it was like a week of filming. Rolling up fakie here, full cab heel, rewind, cancel, I guess you would call it. Also, so for all the tricks over the hip, I like to say we kind of round up in rotations because obviously it's not a full cab heel cancel. It's not a 360, but it's like more than a 180. But because of the fact that I start fakie and land fakie, I just round up. So I know it's probably even closer to a half cab rotation than it is a full cab rotation, but just over hips, you know. For example, if you think of somebody doing a kick flip over a hip, turning backside and landing fakie, you wouldn't just call that a kick flip over the hip, you'd call it a backside flip, right? So that's just kind of how we round up. So if you want to give me crap about the way that I'm labeling tricks, well, you still can. You still can do that to me. Hear me rolling up, impossible late flip, the old Mike Mo flip, me looking awkward and weird, little fakie ollie with the shoelace belt. I guess I was still rocking that around that time. And just a full cab heel in the line. Flamingo blunt to fakie. I love that. Well, I mean, I just love flamingos. I'm not saying I love that trick specifically. I love flamingos, okay? Here we go. So that trick is kind of weird. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on. To me, it's like a late big flip. So it's like a back foot varial flip, but at the same time, a back 180. Little Wally with the floppy shoelaces. I still have floppy shoelaces. Nollie bigger spin late flip. Fakie 360 inward heel. Ooh, that is an awkward shot. Half cab heel nose manual, nollie frontside big spin. I like that trick at the time because I thought it was cool to like go fakie backside in, but then the 180 trick I did out was back in the opposite direction of which I came, if that makes sense, kind of like switching up the direction of my momentum. That probably makes no sense. I'm trying to explain it, okay? Full cab inward heel and a purple V-neck. All right, rocking the, and that shirt I was wearing a lot. Although I guess, like I said, this was only like a week of filming, so a lot of the outfits are repeated. There I am doing that thing. Why am I the way that I am? I hate that shot. I really hate that shot of me crying in the rain or pretending to cry because it was raining. So I definitely want to shout out Jordan because he's an incredible filmer. He's one of the most talented filmers I've ever worked with, very naturally talented. But I remember in this video, I was like, Jordan, there's too much weird B-roll shots, like me crying and smiling and high-fiving. I remember telling him like, take it out. But he would always tell me like, no, it's my style of filming, it's my style of editing, which is true, and it works for him. So he left him in there, and now I've grown to kind of accept it as a part of the video. But I remember like at the time, I was all embarrassed. Fakie 3 shove, a trick that I don't really do anymore. Fakie laser flip, kind of a weird looking one. What is a fakie frontside gazelle flip. Backside flip, nose blunt 180, probably one of the more normal tricks in this video. Me with my emo hair going all over my face while I smile. Best trick in the video right here. Boom, lazy grind pop out. Come on, you gotta love the lazy grind. Nobody loves it. Nobody loves it at all. They hate me for it. Blunt shove, blunt, front 180 out, or I guess blunt shove, front blunt. Me being a cringe human. That blue shirt was like a David Bowie shirt. I think my friend Kelton gave to me to wear, or maybe my friend Sean, I don't know. Someone gave that to me, and I was like, I'll wear it for the video. Got my shoes flying off for that one. So there's kids playing around the park. And I notice it's wet a lot, or I'm like sweeping it up. And I remember we were filming for this part, it was a rainy season, so we'd be filming in the morning, it would start raining, so we just wait in the car for like an hour or however long until it stopped raining. Then as soon as it stopped, we'd get out and I would start brushing, or squeegeeing or whatever, all the water out and hoping for it to dry. Some days I remember just like, please dry up. I was thinking that so hard, getting all the water out only in the area I wanted to skate, just so I could maybe get one more clip before the sun went down. This last trick, the 720 pop shove it, I don't think I've done that since this video. It's kind of a weird one because I still do the 540 pop shove it and I like that trick. And I guess I would like this if I still did it. I don't know why I don't do it anymore. Maybe I should film another one in the streets sometime because I don't think I ever filmed the 720 pop shove it in the streets. But I do like this clip. I did land it kind of weird. You can tell my feet are kind of in an awkward position. But to be fair, it was the first 720 shove I'd ever done. Some high fives, a little ollie high fives. Me and my deep V-necks. Gotta love the deep V-necks. All right, rolling up. What do we got here? Yeah, no comply front tail. And 50-50 to no comply side grind. I don't know what you'd call it. So I actually like this line because in my brain I was like, oh, it's kind of symmetrical because the first trick is a no comply trick where your front foot's on the ground and it's a slide. And then the second trick is a no comply at the end of the trick instead of the beginning, and you're grinding instead of sliding. That's what I thought of in my brain, but I'm a stupid idiot, so I don't know why I think anything that I think. Some bikes over there. Me, emo as ever. Cancel flip. I'm skating this same board, I think, for the whole thing, huh? Then yeah, back 270 tray flip, or whatever you call it. Big spin back nose blunt. I love that trick. I think that was the first one I'd ever done. Then yeah, utilizing the S ledge, dropping down to a cricket grind. That was fun because, I don't know, I was just trying to find new ways to skate the part because all I ever do is skate the pyramid and the kicker like over and over. So this trick, that was the first dark stall that I had ever filmed. And a lot of people say I was the first person they ever saw did it, but I am not at all the first person to do it. I remember seeing Chris Haslam do that trick on like a small mini ramp or something. It was in some weird online edit that I don't know where it is or even what it was, but it was like some mini ramp edit, and Haslam did the kickflip dark stall, and I remember seeing that and thought that was the coolest thing ever. So then I filmed it. So I did not invent that. No. Here I am rolling up, looking all serious and weird. That's a really fun trick, like a nollie back 270 heel, but just sliding in an extra rotation. I love tricks like that where it's like you're supposed to go 180 or 360, but then you kind of just slide a little extra in there, a little sneaky one that you can really only do those over hips, or I can really only do those over hips because I'm not good enough to do them in the streets. And here we have the ender to the video, laser flip, blunt to fakie. I actually felt so good landing that. And I remember, I think that was the last trick we actually filmed for the video, and it was also the ender. And I remember Jordan's battery was gonna die on his camera, and he's like, you gotta land this now. And yeah, the battery was almost gonna die. I was getting close, and then I was super pumped. I landed that trick, the laser flip blunt to fakie, and we were all happy. We got the ender, and then I was like, I got one more. I got 360 hard flip blunt to fakie. So I started trying that, and I believe I locked into one kind of. Like, so if here's the lip, instead of locking into blunt, I was like a little bit up the top, and that was as close as I got. It was like 3 hard, almost lock in, and I was getting kind of close, but then his battery died, and we just never went back to do it. I've still never done that trick, 3 hard blunt to fakie to this day. I wonder if I could do it. Maybe I should go back to Kaneohe skate park soon and see if I can land it now. You know, we were actually thinking about filming a new Kaneohe edit in the near future, so that would be kind of fun. I mean, I have a bunch of tricks and I've learned a bunch of new ones since this video. So after this video came out, like I said, it got way more views than we were expecting. It actually got reposted on another popular skateboarding YouTube channel, and it got even more views than the one on my channel, but that channel got taken down, and probably because of copyright issues, I don't know. So yeah, after we put out this video, I remember waking up one day and it was on the Transworld website, which I know nobody goes to websites anymore, but back then that was how you'd look at videos, like going to the Transworld website or whatever. And our video was featured on their site for the day. It was either a Footy Tape Friday or Thursday Theater. I don't know, their little alliteration days. I don't know which one it was, but I remember being like, oh my God, it's on the Transworld website, because up until that point, yeah, no actual source of skate media had ever acknowledged my existence. So that was really cool. And after this, I'm gonna try and find it. We filmed Kaneohe Part 2 because that was so much fun to make, and we filmed a second edit, Kaneohe Part 2. So the Kaneohe Part 2 edit, obviously it didn't get nearly as many views, but it was really fun to film, and I actually think the tricks in this were way more difficult than the first video, which I guess makes sense because you're supposed to keep progressing. But actually the tricks in this video I was way more proud of. I consider some of the tricks in this video some of the most difficult ones I've ever done. So if you've seen the edit, it's this weird Kings and Queens song, which is like not bad, but it's definitely not the song I wanted to use. I remember I sent Jordan like a bunch of other songs and he was always like, no, no, no. And I think the #1 song I really wanted him to use was an RAC remix of Second Chance by Peter, Bjorn, and John, but he was not down. I really wish that that song was in this video, or a different song, but you know, it's not the worst. It's not a terrible song. And Jordan and I were always kind of like that. I don't want to make it sound like we were always butting heads, because we actually had a really great chemistry, and we still do, in terms of like filming, working on tricks together, kind of talking about like what trick looks better, that sort of thing. But it was just tiny things, like with the music choices and the editing choices, we would kind of butt heads. But I mean, Jordan's one of my best friends. We get along super well, so don't interpret it as anything bad. He's an incredible filmer, like I said, and I think he's incredibly talented. He's a good boy. Here we go. We have this little intro. That's my friend Nick, I think. I would see him at the park all the time. He was super cool. I miss him. He was like really awesome. We just filmed that as a joke, and I don't know why I thought that was funny, but I guess I did. That guy, oh my gosh, he got so smoked. He has to borrow my board, and then that happened. I guess Jordan was filming. Little fake. See, even here, you can see the raindrops on the lens. Like, you could tell it was raining all the time, because it does on that side of the island. Fakey double flip into the pyramid. And so this is interesting, even with the full cab flip into the pyramid. That was a way I never skated that obstacle until this video. If you noticed in the first Kaneohe video, I didn't do anything like that. And for this video, I was like, I gotta find something new, because all my tricks were just like flip tricks into stall on the pyramid, or flip tricks over the hip, or tricks off the kicker. So for this one, I was trying to think of weird new ways to skate the park, so it wasn't too boring. And those tricks were really fun, because they were actually kind of scary for me to do a trick into the pyramid. And I know it doesn't look that crazy, and it's probably not that crazy, but it was kind of freaky for me at the time. And those tricks were fun because most of the trick was me rolling up a bunch and being scared to try it, or like tossing out my board and like running down it. But once I committed, most of these were pretty easy. All the tricks in were like in a couple tries, because it's pretty much just a flatland trick. The hard part was just committing. Kickflip nose manual, can stomp, frontside flip, late flip. What kind of weird looking trick, but that was fun. Again, I haven't done that one since this video. Oh, the I Heart mustache shirt with the mustache. So that shirt was a gift to me from my sister. It might have been like a birthday or a Christmas gift, but yeah, Jody gave me that shirt. And then I don't know why I had a fake mustache, but I did. So I guess I put one and one together and made a big old stupid choice. Yep. There go, holes in the back of my pants. That is a gazelle double flip, we're gonna call it. And this, okay, oh, I got the headband on too, that's cool. That is probably my favorite trick I've ever done at Kaneohe skate park. I want to say that. I don't know if that's true. I'm going to claim that though. That's my favorite trick I think I've ever done at the skate park. And it's one of the most difficult tricks I've ever done in my life. Although I don't think it took me that long to do that day, honestly, but just it's a trick that I'd always dreamt of, because I have gazelle flips pretty consistent over the hip. And I was in this phase where, like I talked about earlier, I would do a trick that's supposed to be 180 or 360, but then slide in that last extra 180 at the end. And this was always one that I dreamt of, because I had done like back threes, or I guess back 270s over the hip, and then kind of skirted the last 180. So I was like, if I could do that, I could do it with the gazelle flip. And yeah, I've never done it again. It would be really cool to do that on a street spot. But yeah, that's one of my favorite tricks I've ever done at a skate park. In the piece shirt, and oh, an interesting thing, I used to always wear V-necks, and I think this shirt is an example of that, but I had shirts with the normal neck, like the circle neck, and I hated it. I felt like it was too constricting because I only wore V-necks. So what I would do is I would cut those into V-necks. I would take my circle collared shirts, whatever you call them, normal fit, and I would cut down a couple inches into it and then fold it inside, and I would make all my shirts V-necks. That's who I am, apparently. But I like the headband. It's pretty cool. There, I almost took that kid off. He keeps running. Switch backside flip, nose blunt, 180. Yeah, one of my rare switch tricks. If you notice, I don't do a lot of switch tricks because maybe I'm not that great at switch. Big spin double flip, still love that trick. And then Fakie 360 hard flip, kind of a weird looking one, but I remember being pumped because I'd never seen anyone else do that, so I'd always wanted to do it, and then I tried it, and it was actually not that hard. It's like a 3 hard, but backwards, and which is basically what fakie is. I know it's stupid, my explanation, but... And here's my buddy Jared, one of my good friends that I grew up skating with. He's still really good at skating, but I think he focuses on music more. He's a really good drummer. Beautiful switch trays, he's wonderful. And there's me, backside 360 double flip. One of my favorite tricks, and again, I need to do that on a street spot. And then here we go, the ender, the big spin flip to fakie into the big quarter pipe, big flip to fakie. And I know that seems kind of underwhelming for an ender, considering like some of the more technical tricks earlier in this video, but looking back, that was very scary for me. I remember like rolling up and I would toss it out and kind of just jump away or stick it with one foot for a long time that day. And yeah, when I finally did it, it felt good. And it was just kind of different than the other tricks I was doing. Like all the other tricks, like I said, are just more technical or weird or just like clown tricks. But that one was kind of more scary, even though it was a more simple trick. So it kind of felt cool to put that as the ender. Filmed and edited by Jordan Kim. Wonderful job, Jordan. Like I said, Jordan is an incredible filmer, wonderful editor, and yeah, one of my closest friends. We actually haven't filmed a video part in 4 years. Our last video we filmed together was Tech Noir, which I'll put a link to that below if you want to watch it. That was really fun, but that was, yeah, 4 years ago. So finally, we're working on a new street part together. We're almost done. Yeah, Jordan had just taken a big break from skating and filming. He just wasn't into it for a while, but he's finally back, and we put a lot into it, so I'm really excited to show you guys the new street part we're working on. And in my opinion, Jordan's filming better than he ever has. And the edit is one of my favorite edits he's ever done. So all we need right now is like another trick or two. I think we need 2 more tricks and then the street part will be done. And hopefully that'll be coming out very soon. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching, joining me here today while we reviewed my old Kaneohe videos. Again, if you have any ideas of videos you want me to film, leave it in the comments below and I will read all the comments. The idea for this video was given to me by my friend Mike Paik, who's also an amazing skater. He's a beautiful man, and I thought it was a great idea. So I listened to him, and then I did it here today. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.